There are whispers in the quiet corners of your mind, a subtle discontent that echoes the greater currents of the world. You feel it, this invisible hand that attempts to guide your choices, to shape your very will, often without your conscious consent. It is a profound, unsettling intuition that something fundamental to your freedom is under siege. A silent war waged not with swords, but with shadows and whispers against the core of your being. This feeling, this knowing sense of being swayed, controlled, or subtly disarmed is not an illusion. It is the raw, unvarnished truth of a spirit yearning for its own sovereign ground. Perhaps you have felt the sting of a compromise you did not truly wish to make, the weight of an expectation that was never truly yours, or the quiet erosion of your inner compass. This inner division, this struggle between who you truly are and who you are pressured to be, is a wound many carry, often in solitude. It is the pain of feeling your will subdued, your authentic voice muffled by the clamor of external demands. But within this very ache lies a profound invitation, an invitation to reclaim what is inherently yours, to forge an unshakable inner strength that no external force can diminish. Nietzsche, with his piercing gaze into the depths of human nature, understood this struggle. He saw the intricate dance of wills, the subtle ways one will seeks to exert itself upon another, often veiled in the guise of virtue or necessity. He challenged us to look beyond the surface, to question the very foundations of our beliefs and the sources of our motivations. For him, the path to greatness, to becoming who you truly are, lies in radical self-overcoming, in a relentless journey inward to confront and master the forces that seek to bind you. The mask you wear is not your true face. Uncover the will beneath. This unveiling is not merely an intellectual exercise. It is an existential demand, a call to intimate communion with the deepest currents of your own being. Imagine a vast, intricate labyrinth, not of stone, but of thought and influence, built by countless unseen hands over generations. Its walls are woven from societal expectations, cultural narratives, and the subtle currents of human interaction. Within this maze, paths are cleverly disguised, and false exits gleam with deceptive promises. Many wander lost, believing they are choosing their direction, yet unknowingly following a predetermined route. To find your true path, to escape the coils of this hidden labyrinth, demands a different kind of vision, a profound intellectual independence, a will to see beyond the immediate, to sense the hidden threads of manipulation that seek to guide your steps. It requires a courageous descent into the abyss within, for it is there, amidst the shadows, that you will find the blueprint for your unshakable power. Today we journey into this labyrinth. We will unveil 5 hidden tactics that manipulators employ, not to condemn, but to empower you with sight. This is not about fear, but about liberation, not about suspicion, but about clarity. It is a path towards profound self-authorship, enabling you to discern the genuine from the artificial, to stand firm against the currents that seek to divert your will. Are you prepared to confront the unseen chains, to embrace the difficult truths that promise radical freedom? The first hidden tactic, subtle yet profoundly disorienting, is the architect of your consensus, the way manipulators weaponize your inherent will to believe. We often walk through life assuming that truth is a fixed, immutable star guiding all sincere seekers. Yet Nietzsche, with his relentless gaze, revealed a more unsettling landscape. There are no facts, only interpretations. This is not an invitation to nihilism, but a profound challenge to our complacency, a call to recognize that what we accept as bedrock truth is often a meticulously constructed narrative. Manipulators understand this human need for certainty, this deep yearning for meaning, and they exploit it by crafting stories that resonate not with objective reality, but with our deepest desires, our most primal fears, and our unexamined assumptions. They do not merely present information, they sculpt perception itself. Consider the tactic of reality framing. This is the art of curating not just facts, but the very lens through which you perceive reality. Manipulators achieve this by selectively presenting information, amplifying certain narratives while subtly suppressing others, all infused with potent emotional resonance. They understand that emotion is the glue that binds an interpretation to a belief, making it feel less like an opinion and more like an undeniable truth. Nietzsche wrote, "The lie is a condition of life," a provocative statement that, in this context, reveals how a carefully constructed untruth or a distorted half-truth can become the accepted reality if it serves a powerful enough will. They build what might be called a reality tunnel, a confined and controlled perspective that feeds into your confirmation bias, reinforcing what you already suspect or wish to believe. This is evident in political discourse, where complex issues are often reduced to stark, emotionally charged binaries, compelling you to choose a side before you have even fully grasped the nuance. Your intellectual independence, your very capacity for self-authorship, becomes compromised when your perceptions are thus confined. Many believe that critical thinking alone is a sufficient shield against such forces, but often our critical thinking is applied only to the surface, questioning the obvious without probing the deeper currents. To truly disarm this tactic, we must engage in a radical doubt exercise. This practice demands that you question not just what is being said, but why it is being said, who truly benefits from this particular narrative, and WAT underlying values are subtly being promoted. It is a rigorous interrogation of the presented reality, a search for the hidden will to power that animates the story. What agenda, what desire for influence or control lies beneath the veneer of presented truth? This exercise is not about cynicism, but about cultivating a profound discernment, a capacity to see the scaffolding behind the facade. If all reality is ultimately interpretation, how much of your perceived freedom is merely a meticulously crafted illusion, designed by another's will and accepted as your own authentic perception? Take a moment now to reflect on a recent truth you accepted without truly interrogating its origins or its deeper implications. Perhaps it was a news headline, a societal norm, or even a personal belief about yourself. Can you feel the initial resistance to dissecting it, the comfort in its familiarity? What hidden assumptions now begin to surface, assumptions that you unknowingly adopted from another's frame of reality? This act of questioning, of peeling back the layers, is the first step toward reclaiming the architect's hammer, to begin building your own unshakable foundations of truth. The second hidden tactic delves into the very core of your being, into the sacred precinct of your values. It is the revaluation of your soul, the subtle hijacking of your moral instincts. Nietzsche's profound concept of master-slave morality illuminates this shadowed landscape. He showed us how values are not eternal, but are often forged in the crucible of power dynamics. Manipulators, with a chilling precision, understand this. They subtly invert or exploit existing moral frameworks, turning your ethical compass against you. They appeal to what Nietzsche termed the slave morality virtues: pity, humility, conformity, the desire to be good in the eyes of others, and use these very instincts, these profound human capacities for empathy and connection, as levers for control. Your desire to do right, to be seen as virtuous, becomes the very instrument of your subjugation. This leads to the insidious tactic of moral inversion or virtue signaling. Here, manipulators portray their self-serving actions, their pursuit of their own will to power, as noble sacrifices made for the greater good, for the community, or for a higher principle. They cloak their true intentions in the robes of virtue, making any resistance to their agenda seem not just disagreeable, but morally reprehensible. Nietzsche, with his characteristic bluntness, observed, "Pity is the most agreeable feeling for those who have little pride and no prospect of great conquests." Manipulators weaponize this, evoking pity or guilt to compel compliance, framing their demands as ethical imperatives that only a callous or selfish person would refuse. Think of leaders who demand unquestioning loyalty, not for their own aggrandizement, but for the greater good, while simultaneously consolidating immense personal power. Your discomfort, your instinct to question, is then reframed as a moral failing. It is a dangerous illusion to believe that good intentions are always transparent, or that moral appeals are inherently pure. To navigate this terrain, we must cultivate an ethical audit of influence. This is a rigorous practice of meticulously tracing the true beneficiaries and hidden agendas behind any call to action, especially those cloaked in moral urgency. It demands a joyful, skeptical inquiry into all values, even your most cherished ones, what Nietzsche called his gay science. This is not about becoming cynical, but about becoming discerning, about asking, who truly benefits from this moral narrative? What power dynamics are being reinforced? Is this truly about a universal good, or is it a clever revaluation designed to serve a specific will? This audit allows you to distinguish authentic ethical action from manipulative virtue signaling, to see through the moral fog that clouds judgment. Is your moral compass truly your own, or has it been subtly recalibrated by the invisible hand of another's will, disguised as universal good or ethical imperative? Take a moment to identify one societal virtue that you have always accepted without question. Perhaps it is the virtue of absolute selflessness, or unwavering obedience to authority, or the unwavering pursuit of peace at all costs. Now consider, how might a manipulator exploit this very virtue to gain your compliance or control over your actions? What subtle narratives could they weave appealing to this deeply held value to make you act against your own best interest or authentic will? This act of self-interrogation, of holding your most sacred values up to the light of radical doubt, is vital for profound self-authorship. The third hidden tactic probes the raw, unhealed wounds within the human psyche. It is the architecture of resentment, the way manipulators expertly exploit your festering resentments. Nietzsche, in his profound On the Genealogy of Morality, laid bare this insidious psychological state. Resentment is not merely anger, but a deeper, simmering resentment born from feelings of powerlessness, from unexpressed aggression, from a profound sense of being denied or wronged. It is a slow poison that, left unaddressed, becomes a profound psychological vulnerability, a fertile ground that manipulators are adept at identifying and targeting. They sense the unacknowledged pain, the suppressed longing for retribution, and they know precisely how to stir these embers into a consuming flame. This vulnerability is directly exploited through the tactic of scapegoating and othering. When a populace feels disempowered, when their resentment reaches a critical mass, manipulators offer a convenient target, a common enemy onto whom all diffuse frustrations and failures can be projected. Nietzsche wrote, "The slave revolt in morality begins when resentment itself becomes creative and gives birth to values." In this context, manipulators weaponize resentment by giving it a collective voice, a shared target, and a newly minted morality that justifies aggression against the other. They unify a group not through shared aspirations, but through shared hatred, solidifying their own authority as the protector against the designated foe. We see this tragically in demagogues who blame external groups, immigrants, or opposing ideologies for all societal ills, channeling a complex web of grievances into a singular, easily digestible narrative of blame. This creates a powerful, yet ultimately hollow, sense of belonging and purpose, all while masking the manipulator's true agenda. It is a seductive illusion to believe that all anger, especially righteous outrage, is inherently pure or a genuine call to justice. Often it can be a carefully orchestrated symphony of our own unacknowledged resentment played by a master manipulator for their own ends. To disarm this tactic, we must engage in resentment thought mapping, a rigorous self-examination to identify our own subconscious resentments. Where do these feelings truly originate? Are they responses to current injustices or echoes of past wounds that have never truly healed? Understanding their true source and recognizing their potential for passive-aggressive behaviors or for being weaponized by others is crucial. This practice demands acknowledging your own will to power, your innate drive for influence and mastery, and finding constructive, self-authored outlets for it rather than allowing it to fester into a manipulative tool for external forces. Is your righteous outrage a genuine call to justice, or a carefully orchestrated symphony of your own unacknowledged resentment laid by a master manipulator for their own ends? Take a moment now to recall a time you felt intense resentment, perhaps a deep-seated grievance against an individual, a group, or a societal structure. What was its true source? Was it a direct injury or a feeling of being overlooked, of unfulfilled potential? How might that unaddressed wound, that internal division, have been suddenly exploited by external forces, or even by your own internal patterns of thought, leading you down paths that did not truly serve your profound self-authorship? This courageous introspection is the crucible in which genuine inner strength is forged. The fourth hidden tactic reaches into the very wellspring of your being, into the unquenchable fire of your desires. It is the puppet master of longing, engineering your inner aspirations for their own gain. Nietzsche's concept of the will to power is often misunderstood as mere external domination, yet at its heart it is an inherent internal drive for growth, for overcoming, for self-actualization. It is the vital force within you that compels you to become more, to expand your influence, to author your own existence. Manipulators do not seek to extinguish this primal drive. Rather, they twist it, redirecting its potent energy towards external, controlled outcomes that serve their will, not your own authentic becoming. They don't quench your thirst. They simply point you to a well they control. This brings us to the insidious tactic of manufactured desire and false aspiration. Manipulators are masters at planting seeds of aspiration that are not truly yours, yet feel intimately familiar, like a phantom limb of the soul. They understand that the human spirit, resilient and enduring, is willing to suffer greatly if it perceives a profound meaning or purpose in that suffering. Nietzsche observed this with piercing insight. Man, the bravest animal and the one most accustomed to suffering, does not deny suffering as such. He desires it, he even seeks it out, provided he is shown a meaning for it, a purpose of suffering. Manipulators cunningly provide precisely this, a false meaning, a false purpose for actions that serve their will, making you believe it is your deepest, most authentic longing. Think of marketing that creates needs you never knew you had, or cult leaders who promise enlightenment and ultimate belonging through subservience to their vision. They offer a narrative of struggle and triumph that conveniently aligns with their agenda, promising fulfillment in exchange for your submission to their chosen path. It is a pervasive idea that all strong desires are authentic expressions of self, born from the deepest chambers of your being. Yet many of us carry ambitions and longings that are merely echoes of a world that seeks to define us, to program our very striving. To reclaim your inner sovereignty, we must engage in authentic will to power recalibration. This is a deep introspective exercise, a journey to differentiate between externally implanted desires and your genuine self-authored aspirations. It demands radical self-honesty, a courageous willingness to dismantle the beautiful illusions you may have been taught to chase. It involves embracing amor fati, a love of your fate, your true, unadulterated path with all its inherent challenges and unique contours, free from the external programming that seeks to dictate your destiny. Only then can your will to power be truly your own, directed by your authentic self, not by the subtle hand of another. Are your ambitions yours truly your own, or are you merely a puppet dancing to the tune of another's will to power, believing their desires are your destiny and your path to fulfillment? Take a moment now to name a powerful desire you currently hold, perhaps for a certain career, a type of relationship, a particular lifestyle. Can you meticulously trace its origin, like following a stream back to its source? Is it truly a self-authored longing, a unique expression of your deepest self, or is it a reflection of subtle external influence, societal programming, or the unspoken expectations of those around you? This profound inquiry is essential for cultivating genuine self-mastery and an unshakable inner strength. Fifth and final hidden tactic preys upon one of the deepest, most primal human needs, the need to belong, the fear of standing utterly alone. This is the tyranny of the average, how manipulators exploit your fear of isolation. Nietzsche, in his scorching critique of the herd instinct and the last man, understood this profound vulnerability. He saw how the desire for collective comfort, for the warmth of being accepted, could become a powerful weapon against individual autonomy. Manipulators thrive in this environment of conformity, recognizing that a person afraid to stand apart is a person easily led, easily swayed by the prevailing current of opinion, no matter how illogical or self-defeating that current may be. Your yearning for connection, for acceptance, becomes the very chain that binds your will. This manifests as the insidious tactic of social proof manipulation and exclusion anxiety. Manipulators are adept at creating an environment where dissent is not merely frowned upon, but implicitly or explicitly punished. To question the prevailing narrative, to express an independent thought, is to risk social ostracization, to feel the chilling solitude of being cast out. Compliance, then, becomes the path of least resistance, the easiest way to avoid the profound discomfort of standing alone. Nietzsche, with his profound understanding of the individual's struggle against the collective, declared, "The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try it, you will be lonely often, and sometimes frightened. But no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself." This is evident in the relentless tides of social media trends, or in group dynamics where those who dare to question the established narrative are quickly silenced, marginalized, or even demonized. The fear of being different, of being seen as an outsider, becomes a potent instrument of control, eclipsing the deeper call of your authentic self. It is a comforting, yet ultimately deceptive, notion that belonging always equates to strength. True strength, an unshakable inner strength, is forged not in the embrace of the crowd, but in the crucible of self-authorship. To counter this tyranny, we must embrace the solitude as strength practice. This involves deliberately cultivating periods of profound isolation, not as an escape, but as a sacred space for critical self-reflection and the strengthening of inner conviction. In this solitude, free from the clamor of external voices and expectations, you can hear the whispers of your own authentic will. Recalibrate your inner compass and build an impenetrable psychological resilience against herd pressures. This is the path to the Overman ideal, a journey of self-overcoming that transcends mere conformity, embracing the unique contours of your own being. The true measure of your independence is your indifference to external validation. Is your comfort in conformity a testament to harmony, or a silent surrender to the invisible chains of the herd? Precisely the psychological vulnerability a manipulator seeks to exploit. Take a moment to recall when you last consciously chose intellectual independence or personal truth over social acceptance. Perhaps it was a difficult conversation, a stance against popular opinion, or a quiet refusal to participate in a collective delusion. Share the experience with yourself. Feel the initial discomfort, the potential emotional cost of standing apart. Now, reflect on the profound reward that followed the surge of authentic personal power, the clarity of self-authorship, the unshakable sense of integrity that only comes from owning yourself utterly and completely. We have journeyed through the subtle landscapes of influence, Influence, unveiling 5 hidden tactics that manipulators wield against the unsuspecting will. We have seen how the architect of consensus weaponizes your need to believe, framing reality to serve their narratives. We have faced the revaluation of your soul, where moral instincts are hijacked, turning your deepest virtues into instruments of control. We have confronted the architecture of resentment, exposing how unhealed wounds become fertile ground for division and manipulation. We have unmasked the puppet master of desire, engineering your inner longings to serve an external agenda. And finally, we have challenged the tyranny of the average, where the fear of standing alone becomes a silent surrender to collective conformity. Each unveiled tactic reveals not just an external threat, but an internal vulnerability, a terrain within you that demands mastery. True power and unshakable inner strength lies not in the futile attempt to control the external world, but in the radical self-awareness and profound self-authorship of your own internal landscape. It is a journey of relentless self-overcoming, a continuous forging of your inner core against the subtle assaults on your will. Nietzsche's profound challenge echoes through the ages, a guiding star for this very path. Become who you are. This is the ultimate antidote to external manipulation, to know yourself so intimately, to integrate every facet of your being that no external force can plant a desire that is not authentically yours, nor frame a reality that does not resonate with your deepest truth. Embrace the abyss within. It holds the blueprint for your unshakable power. This journey is not about building walls, but about cultivating discernment, not about suspicion, but about clarity. It is about developing an authentic personal power and psychological resilience that enables you to navigate the complex, often treacherous dynamics of human interaction without succumbing to internal division or external control. This is the path beyond good and evil, the path to authentic self-authorship. It means understanding that your greatest strength lies not in conformity, but in radical self-overcoming, in the courageous act of standing in your own truth, even when it means standing alone. The true measure of your independence is your indifference to external validation. Therefore, let this not be an end, but a beginning, a call to perpetually revalue your values, to hold them up to the light of your own will, rather than accepting them as static, inherited truths. Embrace the discomfort of truth, for it is in the friction of questioning that genuine strength is forged. Stand as an independent, self-authored individual, a fortress of authentic strength against the subtle assaults on the will. Your vigilance is your freedom. Your self-mastery is your shield. In this ongoing dance of wills, where the seen and unseen forces constantly seek to shape your path, what is the one commitment you will make, starting today, to perpetually reauthor your own life, to ensure that every step you take is truly your own